Hey everybody, I'm Alyson,
I'm Tim.
and welcome to our first video on our channel.
That's right. So we pretty much have this channel because we have so many great conversations that we want to share with you all. Know what you guys think, see if we have different perspectives, and just pretty much start a conversation about a lot of things that we talk about.
Exactly, because as a marriage and family therapist, I know from my perspective, I love talking about relationships, whether professional, interpersonal, romantic, friendships, platonic, all of the above. I just really love talking about relationships, especially the relationships we have with ourselves.
And as a life coach that specializes in relationships, I pretty much help people kind of navigate their relationships and reach their goals and visions when it comes down to having optimal relationships with other people, whether it be their spouses, whether it be their kids, or whether it be their coworkers.
So that's a good point. So maybe we can help differentiate what it means to coach versus what it means to have therapy. So Tim, what would you say from your position if somebody was interested in coaching, what would they have to want to do?
So coaching is different from therapy in that, Allison, you can pretty much say that you kind of deal with people in pieces that are trying to put their lives back together.
Yeah.
I deal with people in like the whole. So you pretty much come to me whole. You come to me ready to work, and you come to me without these barriers. So you can kind of be able to figure out what your goals, dreams, and desires are just by pretty much talking. Because as Allison would probably attest to, she works with more emotional elements where I don't necessarily work with exactly emotional elements. I work more of just what do you want to do and how are we going to get there. And I pretty much am walking alongside you as a teammate, as an accountability partner, similar to what you may do as a therapist. Just two different fields that a lot of people kind of just get mixed up and muddled. So we just want to clarify right there that life coach, therapist, two totally different things.
Yeah, so as a therapist, so I'm a narrative therapist, so I work a lot on restoring and reauthoring someone's life, kind of shifting them from a problem saturated, problem filled narrative to their preferred story. And so I do a lot of work with kind of navigating the past and kind of what kind of informs the beliefs and ideas that we subscribe to, and then how we can kind of transition into just a preferred mindset and way of thinking, which takes a lot of practice. And yes, it is cliche. People come into therapy and like, I don't want to talk about my mom, but 9 times out of 10, people end up talking about the mama. But it's just really a way to just kind of unpack and navigate when I have a negative voice or a negative thought in my mind. Where did that come from? Because it's kind of like the example I give how they talk about kids aren't born racist, how those thoughts and ideas have to come somewhere. Well, we don't typically just come into this earth hating ourselves or thinking that we don't have potential or an opportunity, but somehow circumstances and people have kind of influenced that thought. And so, from my perspective, based on what Tim is saying, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that to come to therapy, we kind of work on kind of deep seated issues in terms of the past and present and future. And meanwhile, the shift for Tim is help me out there.
It actually is a pretty good segue because you deal with the past, I deal with the present moving forward. So if you want to kind of work on things in the past and kind of patch up things in the past to move forward, you see Allison. If you want to start from a point and you want to move forward into your visions or goals, you see me.
Okay, so hypothetically, like if I was having an initial session with you, what would that look like if I was setting up goals for life coaching?
So basically, initial session with me is just pretty much going through different information, a lot of fact finding things. What exactly are your goals? What exactly you want to do? What have you tried? What haven't you tried? What exactly are you looking for me as far as a coach that you hired? How exactly are you looking forward to me helping you? And exactly just what are those goals and exactly how do you plan on getting to the goals and just checking out your ideas and then just helping you break those things down one thing at a time as with your action plan and just having SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, attainable. Um, Gosh, I went blank on there. Realistic and timely.
There you go.
So this pretty much just kind of executes a plan for you to navigate your own self. I don't give you my opinion. What I do is I help you walk through with yours. So everything is just basically your idea. Where it probably is in therapy, a lot of the stuff is their idea, but you kind of got them a little bit more, don't you?
Yeah, I definitely walk alongside because, like, in the beginning of therapy, there's some history taking. Because if I really want to know who someone is, I gotta kind of get an essence of where they've been. And so, in the beginning, we kind of walk through the history, and then that history kind of informs our goals of treatment. And so, I work a lot with, self love and self compassion, self advocacy, and really defining roles and responsibilities in relationships. And so, really, Tim's segue is kind of, it feels like the next phase, like the next step up, like after we've really done a lot of that groundwork and worked on that relationship. Then, if you're looking at more, you know, I guess from that kind of like transitional goals in terms of kind of like professional development, relational development, kind of just the shift of like first is with me to kind of really get into the like the weeds almost and the nitty gritty of your past experiences and how they inform your current beliefs, and then you shift to this guy right here.
Yeah, because what'll happen is that if I see that there are things that you still need to solve from your past, those things that you just can't get past in order to move forward, I'll probably suggest that you talk to a friend, talk to someone else. Probably hold off coaching right then and there for the time being. I pretty much want you to be able to go right at from that point on. In life coaching, we can't really look back because solving things back just involves too many things that we just can't do as far as working on your goals.
Exactly. And so I think from that, so when me and Tim met and started, our relationship, that was something I feel like that really bonded us because I think, interestingly enough, before me and him got into the fields, we kind of were already doing that in a lot of our friendships, relationships, family, whatnot. And so we just have such a rich passion for improving just the individual quality of life, based on, just making measurable, like he was saying about SMART goals, because SMART goals are in therapy too, just kind of attainable, strategic plans for your purpose and for your mission. So, yeah, I think that's definitely our tie in to why we want to have these conversations and do this work. And I think our life experiences just always give us content. And so, whether it's something we hear on a morning radio show or something that comes on the news or something we experience at work or something that just comes up, there's always something that, and I think also just our faith. And so, I think we
Absolutely.
have a strong spiritual component that also just ties in kind of our purpose and our work, that our relationship is not just for us to enjoy, but it's also our ministry.
And then, as I said earlier, like we also enjoy perspectives. So we want to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys have any questions about really and truly what the difference between coaching and life therapy is, please hit us up. Ask us the question. If you have just any different perspective of what we're saying, because we know that people have different opinions, hit us up. Engage in that conversation. Just don't be rude.
Yes, please try not to be. And also I think we bring a unique perspective in terms of intersectionality because we are a black couple. We do have an 8-year age difference, and so I think we just kind of bring in a lot of like we have drastically different like upbringings and perspectives, but at the same time, this really like amazing kind of sameness. I mean, just gonna say definitely some equally yokedness that's happening right here. But I think that just our life experiences have been so vastly different. Which is going back to Tim's point about perspective, is going to make for some really neat topics and subject matter for us to go into together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So pretty much in the fact that one, we believe that being equally yoked is the hallmark of a good relationship. Just making sure that we're on the same page. That even though we may have different opinions and we may not just agree on everything, we both could come back to the same level of spirituality. Just to say, look, we know what's right, we know what's wrong, we know what our beliefs are, and we're going to have some differences, but we can also work them out.
Exactly, exactly. So, and I asked him today, actually, like how we are so blessed to have found each other and to kind of have this relationship. And he just literally looked at me and was like, because we do the work. We choose to do the work in our relationship every day, and not everyone is willing to do that. And so, how we are, and the fact that, the positions that we're in, the fact that we're in this relationship and on this channel is not a small feat. Like, it was just something that we really wanted to commit to do. And we love it. So they say if you find a job that you love, it doesn't feel like work, and I feel like that's literally how I feel in this relationship.
Absolutely. And for one of us, it was easier for us to get in front of the camera than the other. I will admit that it's a little hard for me to do, just simply because of the discomfort. But one thing that you learn in relationships as well as just in life, that you don't grow unless you become comfortable with things, or you don't grow out of just being comfortable, I should say. You have to kind of push your boundaries. If you don't push your boundaries, then you're stuck in the same thing. You don't grow. So similar to a plant, like I had a Facebook post on crucial evolution that
Yeah.
pretty much talks about being root bound. And being root bound is just simply where you have a plant and that plant is just outgrown its pot. And what happens is that the root system in the plant just continues to grow and wrap around the inside of the pot to where it starts to kind of suffocate itself. It doesn't grow anymore. You start seeing leaves die down, starts getting dehydrated because it's not getting enough water. And what ends up to happen is that now that plant has been comfortable just growing their roots around, that needs to be uprooted and put it into a new plot so it can spread out. And the only way you're going to be able to spread out your life or your visions or your goals or anything like that is if you test the boundaries of just getting into new things. And that's pretty much what I'm doing here. Alyson has a little bit of experience on her people Snap.
Yes, I have People of Snap, which is something that I have not been doing it as often, but it's where anything that I happen to be experiencing that day, whether it's something that I'm praying for or a trial I'm experiencing, or if I'm just noticing themes throughout my day or my week, I like to make inspirational snaps about 5 minutes long. So sorry to my followers that are like, click, 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 Alyson, come on. Your snap is a little long. But it's just something that I write personal messages. Really, a lot of my writings and snaps are kind of love letters to myself. If I'm going through something, letting me know that things will be okay, but I don't want that to be an isolated experience. So I also post it on my Snapchat. So if somebody else can get a word or a message for the day, I like to do that as well. And also me and Tim more often than me find ourselves writing inspirational Instagram posts as well, because he kind of mentioned his plug, Crucial Evolution, on Facebook and on Instagram.
Yeah, so pretty much I'm more of a writer. So I will write down pretty much my thoughts as opposed to putting them on by voice or in front of the camera. So if you go to my Instagram pages or my Facebook pages, you'll see a lot of what my writing is because I feel like that's my strong suit. However, I want to reach as many people as I can. So Alyson is kindly helping me get in front of the camera by doing this with me. And it's also something we just always talked about for a long time because of a lot of our collaborative work is just really good. It's just nobody just experiences it. Right. So this is our avenue of saying, hey guys, be in the conversation with me and Alyson for a second because we have hour-long conversations pretty much daily about just different things that go on in life.
Exactly. So this is kind of like an invitation into our living room to have the conversation about with us. You know how sometimes people are like, I really wish I could be a fly on the wall to hear what their conversations are. Well, literally through this channel, you can be.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that is, I think, all we have for you today. Did I miss anything?
I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think as we kind of go along, and these will be pretty much longer conversations, we'll start to divulge into pretty much what our life has held because we've had some very interesting things that go on in our life that's kind of shaped us to the people to who we are and just how we've grown as people. Exactly. So just during the course of this journey, you'll learn a lot about us, how we get these perspectives that we're getting, and just pretty much how sometimes just at the drop of a dime in the conversation, we end up changing our perspectives just because we just see a different light on it.
Yeah, exactly. So just stick with us and stay tuned, and we look forward to having y'all get to know us a little better.
All right, so for now, this is Tim.
This is Alyson.
And we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Peace.